Hi, this is Sean Law from Sydney Lorcana. I've got special guest Jay here again to talk about his Stor Champ winning Blurple deck. How's it going?
Hi, Sean. It's good.
Alright, well, got your list here up on the side. You've got some interesting options in the deck. Maybe let's start with the one that sticks out the most, this one of Madam Mim.
Yep.
Because I remember when that card was spoiled, we did talk about it briefly,
Yeah,
but
we
I think
did.
the consensus was that it was it was very ink intensive to activate its ability, and I think you
Yeah.
also had to discard a card for it as well.
Yeah, it costs two, and you have to discard a card, and you gain one law. The only reason it's in there is for red matchups. Against red, like purple red or blue red, you can comfortably get to like around the breakpoints you want is either 9, 11, or 13 ink. That way you can play Mim and immediately dump either 3, 4, or 5 cards to gain 3, 4, or 5 lore. You only play one of because you don't want to see it unless it's red matchups. And then in the red matchups, you try and draw as many cards as you can so that by the time you get to that point in the game, you have enough cards to discard just to finish it off. Because with 4 goats, if you think about it, if you can play them all, it's like 8 lore. And then if you're playing well on curve, you can maybe get up to 15, and then you just need the mim to finish it off.
All
Um,
right, and I can see also that I was thinking like goat bounce goat, but I can see that there's no foxes in the list either.
yeah. At the very start of set champs, I had Fox. It was really good. I thought it was really good into Amber Steel, but since I don't play any one drops and I've already cut crabs for the reason that I don't play any one drops, I just felt like cutting Fox was the next. I mean, cutting Fox is the same reason because like there's no good Fox targets. The only one would be Tipo, but I'd rather have Tipo and maybe a Blue Bell. That way you have 2 characters instead of one. Instead of losing the Tipo on the board.
Yeah, also the fox's stats I found tends to like you bounce your thing back to your hand and then you smack a 3/3 and then now you don't have a board.
Yeah, exactly.
So it it does it sort of puts you at parity, but you generally want to, since you're more of a controlly deck, you don't want to be at parity. You want to trade off, keep your stuff there, and then get to an unmanageable board state. And if they're a deck that isn't playing B prep, then you can just close it out quickly with your multi-questers and your evasive creatures.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I didn't miss it too much. The thing that I would have missed it for is bouncing those big characters that you were saying, like Elsa or Hades. But you just learn to play without it. Because if I was to put Fox, I had to cut like Monstro and Anna and Goat. So yeah, I would rather just have a more consistent game plan. And yeah, it didn't work out. I mean, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, you want to store champ with it, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I can see that you've got your classic very low uninkable
Yep.
count
Yeah. It's
because you've just got
9,
9, which
just
is
9. Yeah. You don't want to go any more than that, especially for I would say blue decks because our only ramp is Tipo and Sail, and the whole deck runs around. The whole deck operates around the 4 cost characters. So if you miss the ramp, the game's almost over. So you really want a hard mulligan for at least one ramp. And to do that, you need to have low uninkables so that you can mulliganing, like risk mulliganing more without getting bricked.
Yeah, and I can see also that Monstro is now a four of,
Yeah,
and that was also a card we talked about at the start, where
yeah,
it didn't look like it looked like it was potentially good, but not as a four of, more of like a two or three of, like the tech choice with Ana. What made you bump it to four?
uh, if you have it at 4, you can just ink the early ones.
So it's
Easy
basically
ink.
like a Maleficent Dragon, where
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
draw it early, it's ink, and late game, because you have so many cards in hand, it can just threaten a lot of stuff. And if your opponent goes like B prep and then slam a mana, you can just go Monstro, take out, uh, discard a card, and then take out the mana.
yeah, pretty much. So I think the whole Blurple deck is putting cards that will help you in certain matchups. So, for example, the Monstro helps in Amber Steel Whole New World and also red decks that play locations. So pretty much every card in the deck is like that. So it's just in there for specific matchups. Like that meme we were talking about is for reds. The genie's an all-purpose card, and Iago's for any decks that aren't steel. So the whole deck operates like that. You have cards that fit in certain situations, and I treat them as like uninkable. Like that's I'm looking for specific cards in specific matchups, and Monstro is for that specific matchup. So specifically for locations and whole new world decks, because if they whole new world and you happen to draw a Monstro, they've just given you 7 cards that you can use to
Take
discard.
out their whole board potentially if they quest it as well.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, so essentially the strategy is that you've got these tech choices, but a lot of them are now four ofs. So if you draw them in the matchups where they're not good, you just ink them.
Yeah,
And when they are good, they effectively become pseudo uninkables.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
So even though your uninkable count is not that high, because the tech choice could potentially be very relevant, you effectively have like a flexible 13 or so uninkables. But worst case, if you do end up missing on, well, if you can still potentially, even if they're uninkable, you can still ink them
yeah, yeah,
if you're really desperate for making your ink.
yeah, exactly. That's yeah. For Blurple specifically, it's all about tempo and keeping big characters on the board. So you have to really know every single matchup and what to expect from every deck. That's how you're gonna succeed with this deck.
Yeah, well, you don't have B prep to bail you out if you fall behind.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so it does. Yeah, that was one of the, like, when I tried playing Blurple near the start of the this set, I
Oh, you
found
tried
that
at the start of this set?
I'm pretty sure I did play it at the start of this set. I tried
Oh,
it,
nice.
but I found it. Well, yeah, my uninkables were like I think 10,
Hmm.
but I did find that, yeah, whilst I was on the play, it was pretty easy. On the draw, it's a lot hard.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like I think when I was, well, I mean at the start of the format, also like a lot of people were on aggro decks, so it is they can just get an insane lead
Yeah, I would
very
say
quickly.
the hardest decks for this the hardest matchups for this deck is definitely aggro. I was just trying to dodge it as much as I could during set champs. You can fight, but since we don't have Fox and Crab and one drops, you're trying to fight on 5 which is your Elsa and your Belle. So you set up a 4 cost, and then you set up a Elsa or Belle to swing in to try and push the tempo back in your favor.
And how did you find the Iago without the without having any means of giving it rush? I remember in the last video you said generally you play Iago on 3 in the matchups where it's relevant, so it effectively the rush isn't as necessary because
Yeah,
unless they're steel or they're
yeah,
running like a tech card to get rid of Iago, like hypnotic strength or
it is a bit
yeah.
risky. Like I think I played against a green blue player, and I generally would play Iago into that matchup if they don't have a Tipo, because Tipo can sing Heffalumps and Woozles. But he didn't have a he played Sail instead of Tipo, so I played the Iago, and he still just hard cast Heffalumps,
Mm,
and I think Heffalumps draws you a card, right?
yeah, it does.
Yeah, so he banished my Iago and drew a card. So the the tempo went swung back in his favor, but I think it was still okay because that deck's pretty slow, and since they don't have B prep either, you can kind of anticipate under the sea. So uh, yeah, I just kept drawing as many cards as I could, and um,
Well, you
not
also
playing.
have better what do you call it, inevitability with the goats near
Yeah,
the end because I mean even without bouncing the goat represents 2 lore if they can't out it, which it's not easy for them to deal with a 4/3.
yeah. I think he was
It's
trying to
yeah,
coil it, but even then, if it bounced it back to my hand, it would give me a law. So
yeah, it's not something you want to. I
yeah,
remember playing someone who was having they were playing the green purple Maleficent Staff bounce one,
yeah.
and then when I started dropping goats, they're just like, well, I don't really want to bounce your goats back to your hand because I'm just giving you free lore at that point.
Was that Matt Conlon?
Oh no, this was like a couple of set champs ago.
Ah, okay.
That's where we
Shout
had
outs.
yeah, the first 2 games took so long that we had like 6 minutes to finish game 3,
Oh wow.
and I managed to finish it just before it got to turns.
By dropping goats and bouncing.
Well, I dropped like two. I went Sisu on 3, Sisu on 4, and then I started dropping I think goats, and the Sisus were just constantly questing for 2,
Yeah. Nice.
and he just doesn't. It was green purple. They haven't really. I think. I mean, he had foxes to potentially trade for Sisus, but at that point, the Sisus already gained me like 4 lore.
Yeah. They're pretty fast if you don't check them immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually the Madam Mim helped me a lot in the green blue matchup because I had so much ink that I closed the game out on 15. Like I just gained 5 law on 13 ink by discarding my whole hand. It was great. He was so surprised about it.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Madam Mim is pretty threatening because if their strategy is bouncing the stuff back to your hand, if they don't have the bend to my will, you just throw it all away with the Madam Mim, and then you just drop a then they have to bounce it again.
Yeah,
There isn't. They don't have many hard answers for it,
yeah, for sure. So
and
yeah,
yeah,
I think this set champs was a lot of steel, and specifically in if it's not steel, it's green purple in Sydney, right?
yeah. Well, green purple is definitely. It seems to be a Sydney phenomenon because I haven't really seen anyone talk about green purple.
Like
Uh,
out you mean outside of Sydney?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
even when I was talking to Connor, he didn't. He said that that was mostly a Sydney thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I think our Sydney players are really good at the deck, and they've built it in a way that it has solid matchups into the rest of the meta. So it's pretty aggro, but can fight on the draw. So it's a pretty threatening deck.
Yeah,
I
well, I
mean, it
think
won a lot of champs.
yeah, I mean, with your deck, your plan is to just go over the top because there, if you can get to the point where you can drop a Monstro or you can start Elsa and Anna blowing up all their evasives, like
Yeah,
then then the game very quickly turns into your game. You just have to be careful of Go-Go.
yeah. I would never drop a monstro on green purple. I'm too scared of like Crab Fox and then Go Go. But definitely Bell, Popsicle, Tamatoa is the uninkables in that matchup. And turn three Iago is definitely a must. If I miss that, I mean, even Merfolk can be dangerous. So you kind of need Bell as well, the 3 cost Bell. But if you miss it and you miss Iago, it is unfavored. But if I hit Iago and Bell, it's very. I would say I have a good matchup.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the Monstro, you just have to remember to trade it off.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, if you don't trade it off, then suddenly it's a giant go-go threat. And I mean, I've definitely seen people in Stor Champs play like double go-go for like 8 lore in one turn and just close out the game or put them on like 19 and their opponent then immediately has to answer their board.
yeah, yeah. It's a very threatening deck. It also, since it's a lot of cantrips with the 1 drops, it all flows into each other. So even though they're not drawing a lot of cards, they never gas out. They're always in the game.
Yeah, well, that's the strength of that deck is that if you know how to use the 1 drops, you can get a bit of lore, crack them. I mean, it's how you used to play Blurple as well.
Yeah, and
Uh,
you with red purple, right?
yeah, well, I went back to that near the end. There was a period where I cut all the 1 drops
Oh yeah,
except for Cogsworth.
oh yeah,
I had just 3 Cogsworth, and then everything else was evasive. I would just dump too many evasives for someone to deal with. And
yeah,
then once I've dealt with their board, I can close that out very quickly because you can't interact with mine.
yeah. Right. But how's your matchup into green purple?
I mean, it depends. I mean, when I was running Big Sisu, I'd say it was not too bad. I
Can you
mean,
get to it though? They seem fast.
well, usually you can stop if you draw all right, you should be able to stop them at like 10 or 12 lore.
Hmm.
And then I think, I mean, in that deck, I had Rhino Mim as well to deal with early game because that was a 2 drop 6/5.
Oh, with rush or no rush?
Well, I'd shift it, so I'd bounce like a rabbit or a crab, and then it would effectively have rush because it would come in on turn 3.
Oh, oh, from what your tiny meme?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So, but
you're losing
yeah.
2 cards then. You're losing your meme and your crab.
Well, I mean, the Rhino Mim is a 6/5.
Oh, okay,
So it'll kill whatever, like I can one shot a rhino
and live.
and live, and then you either have to sing a song, or I could potentially play a fox or a snake and bounce it back, and then have that shift for a later turn.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's potentially something to explore post rotation, depending on if Goat or some other good Enter the Battlefields one gets reprinted.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot for purple in terms of fighting, but I see a lot of potential in stuff like Dumbo.
Yeah, well, I think I mean, post rotation, how do you feel about your Blurple deck? I mean, to me, it looks like it's in a pretty strong position because you don't really. I mean, you might lose the Popsicle, which means that you may not run the Tamatoa, but
Definitely.
basically everything else in your deck is still in rotation.
Yeah,
Because, like, okay, you lose maybe Goat, but you could potentially play Rose instead,
I probably
or
wouldn't play
the
Rose.
you'd probably
Um,
play the Dumbo, I think, because that's
I could test Dumbo as a closer. Uh, there's a new item, a 2 cost item that gives one character evasive. So you can do Dumbo
the
plus
Dumbo feather
Feather plus
thing.
Monstro shenanigans, but I think that might be too slow. The thing that really hurts next set is that there's no friends yet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that yeah, there isn't Friends hasn't been announced. You've got Finders Keepers, but Finders Keepers is a little slow sometimes. Like when you're playing an aggro deck,
I would
if
never
you
play, yeah, finders keepers.
well,
Uh,
you'd only play it if you can actually stabilize. But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
still pretty. Usually, it's very close with the aggro decks, particularly green purple, because it has so much reach between the Go-Go's, the goats, and the roses.
If I ever am in a position to play finders keepers against those aggro decks, I think I've already won. Like I should be
Yeah,
winning at that point. But yeah, Blurple loses, so it's Popsicle friends. So if you lose Popsicle, you can't play Tamatar, you can't play Bell, uh, and all of them draw cards. So it's I realize that post rotation, a lot of the decks are gonna lose a lot of draw,
I
but
mean green purple doesn't.
they don't.
No, because there's an action that draws two cards.
I'll
That's
pull
green.
pull the lever.
That's green purple.
Yeah,
So I mean, you'd probably just run that.
yeah.
So it's difficult to gauge because it does depend on if they print maybe new card draw that changes things. I mean,
I think Ravensburger wants to slow down the draw. So I think Steel's gonna be relying on Doc and Namari and
they also have desperate plan as well.
Desperate Plan, but it's such a risky card to put more than a couple copies in your deck. Amber, I don't know how Amber's gonna
Well,
do.
you've got Juliet. Julietta
Julieta
draws you
Magical,
one,
yeah.
but that's about. You have to probably pair it with another color. But yeah, I mean it's interesting because also with your deck you're not running. I can see also you're not running any Let It Goes or Into the Unknowns.
No,
And I know you said Into the Unknown. It's very difficult to actually set it up because
yeah,
you're like the only thing that really exerts something is Elsa.
yeah,
But so like in the matchups where you're playing against like Half Shark, your main answer is just hold your Hades for that card.
yeah. But with the Anna, I can go Anna on 6 and Elsa on 7, and then quest with the Anna,
Oh, and then
and
trade the Elsa.
it trades the Elsa, and I draw a card. That came up a few times during champs, and it went really good. Yeah, I just feel like it's losing a lot of card draw. I think I will have to definitely play Into the Unknown next set, just because I'm losing friends and the 3 cost bell. So I need more consistent ways to fight anyway. Um,
Yeah, because I mean
also,
you'd still run the 5 cost bell because
yeah,
you were
definitely.
running that before you even had the shift target.
Yeah, yeah, and as a 4 of as well, because the bodies are pretty big enough to move 3 damage consistently. I think it should be okay in this meta because since everyone has a lot less card draw, Uh, Before I wouldn't run it because people could take advantage of the ink that I gave them from the Into the Unknown. But I think next set it's less dangerous to give your opponent ink. Maybe can catch up or like skip inking a turn, but getting rid of the threats is more important. And if especially if I could sing it, I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, also like there's still like very threatening two questers. You've still got Daisy and Curse Mofolk.
Yeah, Rhino as well is going to be the prime target, but really don't want to give them to ink.
Yeah, Rhino doesn't seem like that great to sing into the
No,
unknown on because that's the same as like when they play a Diablo. You
exactly.
you ramp them twice, but I think like you wouldn't mind ramping by getting rid of a Daisy or a Curse Mofo because
Yeah.
you can't really effectively answer those
Nah.
until unless you get Tipo, and I mean we don't know if Cloud Kicker will get
Oh,
reprinted, but
I hope not.
if it if it does, that could be potentially pretty rough because
I
I
think Green's looking strong as it is. They've got customer folk. They've got Louise. Or is it
yeah,
Lewis?
yeah, they've got Lewis.
Yeah. Um.
So it's interesting because I mean, yeah, I don't, yeah, red purple. I'm not sure. Red blue, you've still got shark. You've got the cantrips, and you've got pirate's life.
Yeah.
So
But
I mean,
losing Bell, Tamatoa, Maui.
well,
Um.
I mean, some of them, a lot of them I saw weren't playing Bell, but yeah, Tamatoa. I mean, it depends. I don't know. They might make like a a revised popsicle
I hope they
that
do.
maybe you have to discard a card to draw a card or something like some sort, or you maybe it doesn't draw you a card, but you can pay one to banish it to draw a card or something
Oh.
like
Nah.
something that
It
doesn't
needs to
order
draw a
or
card because we already have one drop items like a croquet mallet or the scepter of Arendelle, but they're not good enough to put in your decks because they don't draw you a card. So in
I've seen croquet mallet in some blurple lists because
yeah,
you can
it's
recur it with Tamatoa.
you can. It's nice. I did explore it at the very start of set 7 during when everyone was doing the item shenanigans. But even in that deck, it's so clunky if you don't need it. Because I would say like 70-80% of the time, you just don't need it.
Yeah, well, that's why I was running Cogsworth
Yeah,
because
Cogsworth could be
he's
good.
he's a 1/1. So if they play Merfolk on one, you just play it on one and trade into it. And if they don't, you just you wait till 7. They think you're going to play a B prep, so they quest out, and then you drop a half shark with rush
Yeah,
and completely catch them off guard, get an action back, and then they now have to deal with a half shark,
yeah, I like those
which
tech cards that are inkable. So yeah, definitely could explore Cogsworth. I'm also thinking about Hypnotic Strength just to hit Iagos and Rhinos. I think that
yeah,
one will be good, and at least it draws you a card. So that's really, I think for purple decks specifically, you really need cards that draw.
yeah, because I mean,
That's
I
why
was
you play
running
purple.
magical maneuvers, which I found very helpful,
Oh
but
yeah,
that was more helpful for setting up a shark because when you drop a shark and then people just stop questing and then
yeah,
they just keep building their board wide. But if you magical maneuvers, you bounce, you know, anything, bounce a genie back after it's quested for 2, shark comes in, cleans out something,
hmm
and then you either get friends back to play it next turn, or you can just get back magical maneuvers and then try and shark them again.
yeah. That's pretty good. Does
So it's
magical maneuvers stay?
yeah, that's from
That's still
this.
in.
It's from set the
Oh,
set that just came out.
oh, I didn't realize it was that new.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know the viability of it. Like, if you're running Cogsworth in Blurple, could be some sort of consideration
Yeah.
because you can also bounce your Elsas and stuff.
How
Uh,
much does how much does it cost? Magical minerals.
2.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So it doesn't draw you a card, but when you're in the like the hardest part when you're playing the control decks is once you've stabilized and they're at like 15, 16, 17, and then they start dropping characters and you know, not turning them sideways.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can recall being in a situation where they're at like 18, they've dropped like two bodies,
Yeah.
and you've just got one Elsa, and you're just like, I can't deal with this extra body. So
Yep.
yeah, that could potentially be something to
Yeah.
explore because we still don't know if any of the. I mean, we know that Rhino Mim can still bounce, but Rhino Mim is uninkable and it's purple red.
It won't have.
So
Oh, it's dual link.
yeah, it's dual linked.
So it'll only have. Wait, does it have any targets?
Yeah, Tiny Mim.
Oh, Tiny Mim stays.
I mean, so does the Mim in this deck.
Oh, okay.
That's from a recent set as well.
I don't think I can play this meme truly marvelous anymore. It's I don't have enough cards. I've started testing a tiny bit, and yeah, the deck plays way differently. You just run out a lot of the time, and you're just playing off the top.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the hard part. I mean, you could also consider running Tiny Mim so that your stuff trades better as well.
Yeah, I'm really scared of Tiana and Rhino because there's no crab, no fox. So I think people are gonna play them more. You know
Yeah,
the
well, I
Tiana?
think Tiana, yeah, that's where you'd run that into the unknown
Yeah.
because you would 100% like even just hard playing that song
Yeah,
completely
true.
neutered their whole strategy.
Yeah. And they're pairing it with Pluto as the bodyguard.
Well, even with the Prince,
Oh, really?
how are you going to get rid of a 0/5
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
have to pay 3 ink to so it's effectively a 0/8 unless you play 3 ink. Um, I mean,
It's
it
crazy.
also could you might potentially look at um, the purple car the one I think it's one of the Frozen characters where it gives you +2 strength on entering, and it quests for 2. So it's effectively like a mini
Yolana?
crab. I think so. It's the white haired lady.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know where she's from, which series she's from.
I think she's from Frozen
Oh,
2.
okay.
Well, if she's not
Yeah.
from Frozen, then she's from Brother Bear.
I don't know.
But I think it's Frozen 2.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
2 plus 2 is not good enough.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is that the +3. I mean, even if they printed a creature which just gave you +3 without like not a crab where it does it when it dies or leaves as well.
Yeah.
Just having something that gives you such a big strength boost, but I haven't seen anything that does that other than crab. Like hypnotic strength is +2 strength.
Yeah. But at
Um,
least it draws a card.
yeah, I mean maybe you might end up upping the count of Ana or some of the other support cards
Yeah,
to
definitely.
potentially, or even the Scepter of Arendelle because that doesn't rotate out either. I think.
I'm also looking at Scrooge McDuck because he's a big five
Yeah,
five body. I don't like the uninkable though, so I don't know how I'm gonna fit him in, but we'll see how it goes.
yeah. Well, I remember you were running it before when everyone was running Flynn.
Yeah,
Um, and I mean, the new Tinkerbell is sort of like Flynn, but it's definitely a lot. It's a lot weaker
yeah,
because you have to turn your stuff sideways.
yeah. Uh, I don't know how. That's red blue, right?
No, that one was red steel or just. I mean, you could
Oh,
play it in red purple as well.
oh,
It's a 2 mana 1/1 evasive.
yeah,
But I mean, if you're running the Prince John, that's a 5/5.
yeah. You
That
gain
could be
law.
pretty potent because they'll have to swing into it, and whatever swings into it is going to die because there's not many creatures that have more than 5 willpower.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm just glad Amber Steel is finally taking a hit. Like they're losing a lot.
Yeah, but I think that we'll see the rise of Red Steel
Red Steel.
because Powerline can sing that Lilo song Beyond the
Which
Horizons by himself,
oh,
the shift one.
as like a mini whole new world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, we still don't know if they're gonna print Zeus or like Steel at the moment doesn't have an answer for Half Shark.
yeah. You need a wide board and strength.
Yeah, that's not that's not a great answer though.
Nah.
Uh, but yeah,
But I
uh,
think without the B prep, it's okay. You could commit more to the board.
yeah. Well, I feel like they're probably if they're not reprinting B prep, they're probably gonna make a 7 cost action
Board wipe.
board wipe or something like that. I feel like you can't rely on Under the Sea as your only board wipe.
Yeah, for the whole game, and it
Like,
doesn't even hit everything.
I mean, yeah, against your deck it hits a decent amount because it's like power 2 or less,
Yeah,
but that's still like it doesn't hit Hades
yeah. It doesn't hit
and any of
majority.
your a lot of your big stuff. And I mean, you may even end up putting the Elsa's back in because Library is still in rotation.
Oh yeah,
So you could
yeah. I
have
could
a
play Big
couple
Elsa.
of you could have a couple of big Elsas to when you drop a couple of libraries, freeze their board, and then just get the lore from the libraries.
Yeah.
It's not as
Uh,
effective as a castle or a mana that gets you two,
nah, but
but
the card draw is nice.
yeah, especially with Blurple's strategy of trading their stuff off, but generally trying to get like 2 for 1s.
Mm.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Is there is there any other insight you think for Blurple? Like,
uh, I'm just really happy that I was able to win two different set champs with Blurple because I think there's not a lot of Blurple players, especially in Sydney. So to be able to represent the deck made me really happy.
and in the Store Champ that you did win, what were your matchups like?
Uh, so I won two champs, the one on Saturday and the one on Sunday. The one on Saturday was a small one. I played against green purple and purple steel, and the as long as I get my draws, it's smooth. In against purple steel, I play Genie. Against green purple, I'm playing Iago, and I don't think I missed ramp in any of the games, so they just go smooth from there. And then on the Sunday, it was a lot of purple steel, green purple, amber steel aggro, and what else was there? Yeah, a lot of that. I feel like a lot of the set champs is either steel or green purple.
So, do you still have your 2 playmats?
Oh, I gave one away to another one of our players, and I'm keeping one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right. Well, it's yeah. I didn't know you'd won 2 set champs. I thought you just won one.
yeah. It was the last set champs,
Oh,
and
you. Oh, okay. On the Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday. It was I went to help a friend because they hadn't won one yet. And we discussed the matchups and then we ended up getting paired and I beat him. So I told him that I would just win for him. So yeah. I also beat the person that he lost to in the top four, which is really good. So
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
yeah, it was great.
And are there any, if anyone wants to reach out to you on social media to talk about Blurple, do you have any online tags or?
Yeah, you could DM my Instagram, I guess, j.tenko. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. Always
Uh,
love talking about the game.
and are there any shout outs you want to give?
Uh, Shout outs to the whole Sydney crew. I think a lot of us have gotten close over the past few sets. We all know each other. We're all friends. We're all in the same group chats. And I think it's been really good that we've been able to build this community for this game, which I love.
Excellent. All right then. Well, thank you for that, and hopefully we'll see you post rotation with
Yep.
some new Blurple concoction.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Thank you.